Do not keep scrolling because at this very moment someone is winning against you without uttering a single word and you are completely unaware of it. However, in the next couple of minutes, you are going to discover 6 rules that change the whole game. These are rules used by individuals who enter any space and quickly become the person everyone listens to. If you are still observing right now, that already reveals something to me. You are not here for simple fun. You are here to grow your personal power. So stop for one moment, press that like button, and tell me you are ready for the second part, because this next rule will transform how people treat you within a day. Managing your internal state is the most ignored source of strength in any human meeting, because people react to what they sense from you before they react to anything you actually say. When your inner world is steady, quiet, and balanced, you become the mental anchor in the room. Humans are built to look for safety, and a balanced person naturally becomes the most secure presence to follow. This happens through a process called limbic synchronization, where the bodies of people near you unknowingly match the emotional feeling of the most steady person. When you stay calm, others begin changing their voice, speed, and reactions to match yours without even knowing it. Strong people train themselves to slow down their breathing, relax their face, drop their shoulders, and keep a neutral look even when others expect them to be stressed or emotional. This type of control does not hide feelings. It masters them. You are teaching your physical body that outside events do not get to control your actions. The message it sends is clear. You cannot be shaken. And that message quickly moves the balance of mental power to your side. When someone tries to upset you, they are really looking for emotional cracks. If they see worry, defense, or anger, they know exactly where to strike next. But when your state stays the same, their attempts fail to work. They start doubting themselves because humans expect usual emotional reactions. When they do not get one, they lose their way. That confusion makes them say more, talk longer, and try harder to get back control. Meanwhile, you are watching everything with a sharp mind. A balanced state also makes your vision better. You see tiny actions that others would overlook, because your brain is not busy trying to fix your own stress. You hear what was not spoken. You see changes in body position. You spot small shifts in voice. You become the only person in the meeting who is truly thinking. And when you are the only one thinking, you are the only one in charge. Owning the frame means you decide what the interaction is, what it signifies, and what part everyone plays in it. Most people enter talks already trapped inside someone else's frame without knowing it. They react to stress. They change for the other person's voice. They follow the emotional path set by someone else. When you own the frame, the opposite occurs. People start reacting to your version of truth. Frames act like hidden rules. Whoever explains the situation silently tells everyone how to act inside it. A frame can be as basic as acting like you are checking someone out instead of trying to get them to like you. It can be the quiet belief that your view is the main one. It can be the steady trust that your presence is important. Whatever path you pick, the power comes from the fact that people unknowingly look for signs that show them who is leading. The first person to show total certainty about the meaning of the moment becomes the mental leader. When you walk into a talk already believing you are the one judging the situation, the energy moves without you saying anything directly. Frames clash all the time and the tougher one always wins. If someone comes in with anger, rush, or ego, their goal is to push you into a reactive frame where they manage the speed and meaning of every word. But when you stay still with a slow voice, relaxed body, and steady eyes, you show a different frame that says you are not following their emotional plan. Their heat loses strength because it has nothing to grab onto. They are trying to drag you into their world, and you are quietly saying no. That quiet refusal is power. Owning the frame also gives you an edge in getting information. People say more to the person they unknowingly see as the judge. They explain themselves more. They try harder to be understood. They work to fit the goals of the person they see as the leader. You get to guide the talk simply by holding the inner belief that you are the one who sets the vibe and your actions naturally follow that thought. Smart silence is one of the most effective mental tools because it flips the usual way humans talk. Most people speak to fill the air, stop the tension, or prove a point. Silence, when used on purpose, does the opposite. It builds tension, makes people confess, and shows control. The second someone expects you to talk and you choose to be quiet, their brain feels a sudden gap. Humans are very uneasy with empty space, so they run to fill it with reasons, excuses, or extra facts they never meant to share. Your silence becomes a pressure tool that works without force. When you wait after someone says something, especially something meant to annoy or trick you, you break their plan. They expected you to fight back or get upset. Instead, you build a moment where they have to guess what your silence means. That guessing almost always makes them talk more. In that extra talking is their true goal, their fear, or the facts they were trying to mask. Silence forces the truth to come out, because people talk too much when they feel unsure about what the other person is thinking. But smart silence is not just about holding back words. It is about managing your face, your body, and your breath while the silence does the heavy lifting. A steady face joined with silence makes the other person feel judged. A tiny head lean makes them feel watched. A slow breath makes them feel seen. Their gut feeling is to end that discomfort by saying more. The silence feels like a bright light even though you have not said a word. Smart silence also breaks power structures. When someone tries to bully you with words, your silence becomes a wall. They see they cannot drag you into their emotional rhythm. You are not playing the talking game they wanted. This creates a mental gap that forces them to change. They step back, think again, and often become nicer because your lack of reaction shows strength, not weakness. Silence in these times becomes louder than any fight you could start. Reading tiny physical signs means looking at the signals people give away without knowing it. The small physical moves that show what they really think or feel before their brain can hide it. Words are the last thing the mind makes. The body speaks first. When you learn to see the small shifts, like eyes blinking faster, the jaw getting tight, the lips closing hard, the shoulders going up, or the breathing shifting, you get facts the other person has not even realized yet. This gives you a massive edge because you are reacting to their truth, not their act. Most people believe what someone says, but tiny signs show the gap between the words and the inner feeling. A person who says they are brave but tightens their lips is showing doubt or pushback. Someone who says they agree but starts blinking fast is showing stress. A small shoulder move might show a worry they did not say. These moves happen in a split second, and the person doing them is not aware enough to stop them. That makes them much more honest than talking. The secret is to watch without staring or looking like you are studying them. Keep your face calm and still while you look for patterns. See what they look like normally, how they breathe when they are at ease, how they sit when they feel safe, or how their voice sounds when they are happy. Once you know their normal state, any change matters. A sudden breath before talking, a foot pointing to the door, or fingers touching the neck. Every tiny sign is a hint about their mind. You do not react to every single one, but you keep them as parts of a picture that shows the real truth. When you understand tiny signs, you can lead talks with perfect aim. If you see a sign of pushback, you slow down. If you see they are open, you move ahead. If you feel worry, you use calm to steady the meeting. You are no longer guessing. You are leading. The other person feels understood without knowing why. And you get control because you are working with more data than they think they are providing. Managing the speed means taking over the rhythm of the meeting so the other person unknowingly follows your speed instead of setting their own. Human talk is built on patterns. People expect chats to move at a certain rate, a certain trait of words, a certain emotional drive. When you pick the speed, when to slow down, when to wait, when to go fast, or when to break the flow, you take over the emotional space. The person with you starts matching your timing, and that match gives you power. When someone is too proud, pushy, or trying to lead, slowing the speed breaks their drive. Pride needs a rhythm. Break that rhythm, and their trust in themselves shakes. Speaking slowly, waiting longer than people expect, or even breathing more slowly forces them to change their whole plan. They might start saying things twice, explaining too much, or losing their spot because you broke the speed they were using. A slow speed also shows peace and power, making them feel like they are being checked rather than being an equal. Moving faster has the other result. When someone is lying or hiding a secret, making the speed faster shakes them up. Ask fast questions, take away the time to think, change topics fast, and watch their brains struggle. A liar needs time to build a story. Taking that time away shows the holes. Their body moves become weird, their voice shifts, and their tiny signs jump. By managing the speed, you manage the truth. Breaking the flow is great when someone thinks they are winning. If they are trying to lead the emotional path, a sudden shift, like stopping them with a quiet question, changing your voice, or waiting right when they expect noise, forces them out of their script. Their mind has to restart, and in that restart you get the lead. Building the rhythm again on your terms then puts you in the top spot. When you knowingly change the speed, you are not reacting, you are leading. The other person does not see that they have started matching your breath, your weights, your speed, and your emotional flow. And once they follow your speed, they start following your path. Giving certainty is one of the biggest mental powers, because people are naturally pulled to whoever looks the most sure of themselves. Humans want stability and clear paths, especially in times where they feel unsure or scared. When you show certainty with a steady voice, firm posture, and sure delivery, you become the anchor others look to. This does not mean you have to be correct. It means you talk as if you trust your own mind. That trust spreads and people start taking your view without asking. Certainty works because the human mind is built to follow signs of a leader. When someone feels you believe totally in what you are saying, they stop judging your words and start reacting to your belief. Doubt is tiring, and most people unknowingly let the person who looks sure make the choices. When you take the worry out of your voice and actions, you help the other person's mind feel lighter. They move toward your certainty for mental comfort. You show certainty not by being mean or loud, but by being the same. Your voice stays calm even when the talk gets hot. Your face stays still instead of reacting. Your body does not shake or hide under pressure. You speak in full thoughts without nervous extra words. You keep eye contact just long enough to show you are steady, but not trying to fight. All these signs send one note. You are sure, firm, and not easily pushed. When someone fights or tests you, certainty lets you keep control without a battle. Instead of getting mad, you act as if their test is just another fact to look at, not a threat. This tells their body that you are the steady point in the talk, and the steady point always becomes the boss. Over time, people start building their actions around your reactions. They trust your path because your steady nature gives them mental safety. Mastering these 6 rules is not the final destination, but the beginning of a total shift in how you exist in the world. Because power is never truly taken, it is granted by those who sense your internal strength. When you walk away from a conversation having used these tools, you leave a psychological footprint that lingers long after you are gone. People will find themselves thinking about what you said and, more importantly, how you made them feel, without realizing that every look, every pause, and every shift in your posture was a calculated move to maintain the lead. This level of influence requires a commitment to constant self-observation, because you cannot control the room until you have absolute mastery over your own impulses. You must become the observer of your own reactions, training yourself to catch the urge to explain or the need to be liked before it reaches the surface. As you move through your daily life, start viewing every interaction as a laboratory where you can test the limits of silence and the strength of your own frame. Notice how the world bends to accommodate someone who is not rushing to meet it. Notice how people begin to seek your validation once you stop offering it freely. This is not about being cold or distant, it is about being the most grounded version of yourself, so that others have no choice but to gravitate toward your center. You are building a reputation for being unshakable, and that reputation becomes a shield that prevents people from even attempting to manipulate you. They will see the way you hold your ground and the way you process information without panic, and they will conclude that you are a person of substance. This is how you transform from a participant into a leader. The game of influence is always being played whether you are aware of it or not, so you might as well be the one who knows the rules. Every time you choose to stay calm when someone expects fire, you win. Every time you wait 3 seconds longer than necessary to answer a question, you win. Every time you maintain your own pace despite the frantic energy of others, you win. These small victories add up to a life where you are the primary driver of your own reality. You are no longer at the mercy of other people's moods or the chaotic energy of the environment. You are the source of the energy and the director of the scene. As you master these techniques, you will find that you need to use less effort to get the same results. Your presence alone will begin to do the work that your words used to struggle to accomplish. This is the ultimate goal of psychological mastery, to reach a point where your silence is more persuasive than your speech, and your stillness is more commanding than your movement. You are teaching the world how to treat you by showing them what you will and will not react to. Stay focused on the internal work, and the external power will follow naturally as a byproduct of your own discipline. The path to true influence is a quiet one, but the results are loud enough to change the course of your career, your relationships, and your life. You have the tools, and you have the understanding now. You only need the practice to turn these rules into your natural state of being.